Hello everyone, this is Alan from Ecommerce Simplified. Today I will show you how you can install and customize the Shopify product reviews app with some coding and modifications to enhance the review section. So product reviews is an essential element for any store to increase conversions, as you may know. And furthermore, if you want to dive in deeper on how to customize more of the appearance, you can check out my second video that goes through the advanced customization of the product reviews app. So essentially what you have to do is you would have to copy and paste some code that is provided by the Shopify help guide or the app itself and add it into the back end of your code to show the product reviews box. The most common place for this to appear or installed is underneath the product description here. And it's optional, but you can also add the badges or the star rating right underneath the product title or the product price. So those are the most common places for it to be installed. But just before we go any more on this, it's also really important that to determine which theme you're using, because every theme are actually installed differently, and this guide here is mainly referring to the free themes only by Shopify. So what I mean by that is if you go to your online store theme section, if you go to explore free themes, this is what this guide is referring to in terms of the code. These code are more for the Shopify free themes, which all have the standard code to apply to. So if you have any other themes or paid themes or premium themes, you might want to check to see with the theme developer first if that is required to be added, because most of the time it is already inbuilt. For example, if we go to the Prestige theme and go to the theme editor, we check in the theme editor or any of your theme you're using, the most common place for it to be in is in the product page section in your theme. So if we navigate to there and check, you can just scroll through and see if there's a section that you can enable for Shopify reviews. So you can see here that it is something that you can enable within the Prestige theme. So you just want to double check your theme to see if that's a possibility first. And regardless, you still need to install the product reviews app for it to work. So today we will focus on the free theme by Shopify called the debut theme. And before we go any forward, we'll go and install the product reviews app. Otherwise, it won't work. So the one we want to find is the product reviews app by Shopify. As there's quite a lot of different ones and they're all installed differently. And we just want to focus on this one today. It is a free product reviews app, so it's a great simple way of an addition to your store. So once we add the app to your store, you can go ahead and add the code, and then it will show the reviews for your products and allows people to add reviews as well. So once you add it in, if it's your first time adding, it will give you instructions and ask you to verify if it's installed. But either way, you can still install it following this guide. So what we want to do is, if you look at the guide, we want to add this code into your theme. So it's saying that you should add it into the product template file. So it's trying to ask you to find the file that reflects this page. So we go to the back end now, and let's do some coding. Before you do any coding, it's always a good idea to go actions and duplicate your theme. In case anything goes wrong, you would always have a backup here, or you can work on your backup instead if you like. But we're going to work on the live theme today. So we're going to go edit the code. And we want to find the file called product Template.Liquid. The easiest way to find it is by searching your file directly right here. It's also really much easier to do this on a desktop than mobile, because you can search for things a lot easier and copy and paste things a bit easier as well. So if you go to product, and you can see it's in the sections, it's called product Template.Liquid. Again, this file can be named differently depending on your theme, so but this is the most common name for it. So we want to find the part that says product.description. So that's a liquid tag that extracts information from your product to display the description. So if we go search for product.description, can see that there's this one here. So once we found it, we want to copy and paste the code right underneath here. So if you like to, you can actually make more space. It doesn't really matter if you have more or less space, but you can space it out or so you can work on it a bit easier and it's not as easily to be confused. So you want to copy and paste this Shopify product reviews code underneath here and click save. And once you do, it will show you the widget or the box of the customer reviews right underneath the product description. So this is not strictly where it needs to be. You can actually move this anywhere you like. You can have it above the product description. You can have it underneath the social sharing. And the most common question I get asked is if we can have this underneath everything, like the whole product, because sometimes you might have it all on one side and it doesn't look very great if you have a very long description. And yes, you can definitely do that. So you want to move the code that we've just pasted in, for example. So if you want to appear underneath the product, you actually wanted to kind of go at the last div here. So this is the ending part of your product. So you want to place it immediately above this div. So let's make some space here and just paste it right up above this div. So once you do and we refresh the page here, it will show you that the customer review spans all the way here, which is right underneath the whole product part. So that's pretty much it for just the customer review section. So now a customer can write a review, it will display the reviews and so forth. So if we move on to the next part, is to install the stars. So the stars or the badges, you can install it to your product page. Again, you want to copy and paste the code that is provided from the guide or the app. So now, depending on where you want it to display, again, you can display it anywhere you like, the most common place being underneath the product title. So again, we want to go and search for product.title in your file, in the product. So now we just want to find the one that is between two curly brackets. So this one here. This is the one we want to find. So what we want to do is we want to put underneath this product title. So you can have it under here, some space. So this is the product reviews badge code. And once you save that underneath the product title and refresh the front page, you can see that now you have the stars for it as well. So another common thing that I get asked about the badges is, can we make it clickable? And absolutely yes, because at the moment it's just stars by itself. You can't do anything with it. But if you have a lot of reviews or like a longer description, you can make it clickable and it goes straight to your review section. So to do that, you can go by adding some code to link it to the section. So we want to add an H8 here, and then you want to target it to the anchor point of the Shopify views section. So essentially, we're going to make this whole part a link. So you want to add a this part here and this part. So essentially, you want to wrap it in a link. So, and that targets the Shopify product reviews part. So once you save this and refresh your page and refresh, so now you can see that this review stars are now clickable. And when you click it, it will navigate down to the product reviews part of your website or your product. And after that, that's pretty much it for your product page. So you can navigate away or just save your progress there. And we're going to work on the collection page now. So what we need to do for the collection page is usually called the catalog page, and we want stars to appear here as well. So how we're going to do that, this is a more confusing part, because the collection page is actually harder to find, because it's not just called collection, it's not usually called collection, but it can be called like product grid or card grid or anything like that. So you can see that in this theme, there's quite a few options here. So let's just refresh this page. I think it's a bit stuck. So what we want to do is we want to add some stars to the title in the collections page. So this one is called product card grid.liquid. So the same code that we had before, the badges code that we got, that we added underneath the product title, you can add it underneath the product price listing into this file here. And then once you save that, you can refresh the page and it's right underneath the product price listing of this. So again, let's go back and look at that. So every file for the collection page can be different. So you might want to just check which one it is. Common names can be product grid item, or so you can try grid and see what comes up. And then what you want to find is the product price section of that. So again, you can always just double check by pasting the code and refreshing until you find the correct spot. And you can see that we did it through product card grid and find the product price listing. That essentially is the part that is saying product title, product price. So product title, product price, and reviews. So you can also, change the reviews and put it above the title if we like here. So example, if you want this to appear above the title, we can cut and paste this code above the product title instead. And if you save this one and refresh, you can see that now the stars are above the title. So it's really depending on where you want it to appear. So you can test and try and see what works best for you. The important part is just finding the correct file, which sometimes can be quite difficult depending on the theme you're using. And this one here we are doing is for the debut theme. It's called product template and product card liquid as a collection file. And last but not least, because every file needs to be edited and added the code manually, there's also another section that you might want us to appear in. So that's in your home page. In your home page, there's a part called featured product section. So this one here, you can see it still doesn't have any of this because it's actually, again, another different file. So regardless of you saving your progress in your product template and product card liquid, you now need to add it also into another file called featured product. So once you open the featured product liquid, again, you will find that it's got very similar coding to your product template. So if we want to go for underneath the product description, we can again do the same thing, search for product description and add the reviews widget code, which is up here, and add it underneath the product description block of code. So underneath the block here, and click save. And go back here and refresh. You can see your featured product now on your front page or home page now has this. And again, if you want to add the stars, you have to look for the product title to add the stars code in as well. So the stars code, if we look for it here, and go back up here and look for product.title. So again, after the block of code here, so this is the block of code for the product title. So make sure you paste it underneath it. So once you save that, you can also refresh the page and you can see that the featured product on your homepage now has that as well. So long story short, we have just installed in the product page, the collection page with the stars and your featured product in your homepage. So every part has its own code, so you have to add them all separately, unfortunately, with the free themes. It can be inbuilt in some themes, but again, if you want them to appear anywhere extra, you can still add them manually wherever you like it to go. So that's pretty much it. So you can give it a go and test where you prefer it to show. And finally, there's some sections that we can go through in terms of customizing this product reviews app. So you can go to the settings in your app and then go through that. And I'm going to go through this alongside other advanced customization you can do in my next video called Advanced Customization of the Product Reviews app. So thank you for watching. And if you found this of any value, please like and subscribe. And any questions, you can feel free to post in the comments. And if you need any help as well, you can feel free to ask. I can see if I can help. And thank you again.